know him as the problem, but people know him now eloquently as James Houston the fourth. What's going on, James? How you doing, man?
It's good. I'm doing good, Kyle. How you doing?
Good, good. Good to see you as always.
Good, man. Everybody's doing well. They really excited. They all getting ready to head up to Lambeau this weekend. So,
Oh man, that should be awesome. Your last game in that, well, for your rookie season in National Football League, and look, I'm so proud of you. Number one, and a lot of people in HBCU spectrum has been proud of you for what you have been able to accomplish in such a short period of time, and we'll get into that as well. But it's good to know that you are doing such a great job. Look, you were drafted 6th round. 217, I believe, overall draft choice. Between you and Aiden Hutchinson, that's 215 guys drafted. And now you guys are, as a combo, as just terrorizing quarterbacks left and right. Now, you went through some trials and tribulations. You went from being drafted, going through training camp. Of course, you were released at the 53-man roster. You went 12 weeks on the training, on the practice squad. And now, since you've been elevated since Thanksgiving Day, it's just been a beautiful thing to see. How did you keep grounded through all of that and to just keep focused on what the task is going to be ahead for you?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I would say one, my faith in God, and just praying with Him and staying with Him and just talking to Him and asking Him what He needed out of me and what I needed to do. Second, I would say my family and my structure that I have behind me. They're my rock, man. They're with me through every step of the way. They done see me at my lowest, at my highest, and they're never gonna leave me. And so, just having them, talking to them, and just knowing that they're there with me through whatever I go through, whatever I choose to do, that always gives me that confidence. But yeah, it was really me just believing in myself, knowing I had the talent that I could do I could play in the NFL, but just not having really my opportunity and not really having that chance to go out there and go show everybody what I had.
Yeah. I've always been high on you. I thought you should have went higher in the draft, and you've proven that every time you step out on the field thus far. One thing that I kind of kept in contact with your mom behind the scenes. She was saying, he's good. And I was like, all right, cool. As long as he's all right, that's what makes things okay. And I know you're a man of faith. But I heard you tell Jim Rome that it was kind of an ego check for you. Explain that.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty rough. I've never been cut from, anything in my life. Nobody's ever really said like they didn't want me anymore or anything like that. And especially coming from a team that drafted me a month before, just kind of saying they want me, and then now you don't want me, and it's like getting dumped by your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you want to like, and but they still wanted to develop me and still kind of help me out and allow me to mature and get through the process. But yeah, it was rough, man. It was just rough. Just understanding going into that room, seeing the GM and the head coach, and them telling me, yeah, we're gonna have to let you go. And it was just rough. And they try to console me and tell me, it's okay. Like we still believe in you, and we feel like this is just gonna be a great story. We feel like some type of James Harrison story. You gonna come back. This is gonna be nothing. And I mean, they were kind of right.
I think they were spot on. I think Brad Holmes and those guys, Dan Campbell, was spot on with you with this, man. Talk to me about this, because I know Aaron Glenn covered him when I was covering New Orleans Saints. Just a great figure. Who has been more instrumental in your development over those last 12 weeks before you actually hit the field for your first NFL game? Was it him, Dan Campbell, your line coach? What?
I think it was really the whole staff. I couldn't point to one person and say they were instrumental in helping me get to where I'm at. I mean, mostly it was probably me. putting my head down and just going to work and understanding, you know, I had a little bit of a gap that I needed to close. And whether it was mental or physical, I needed to close that, and it needed to be closed as soon as possible. And I mean, the D-line coach, Todd Walsh, Aaron Glenn, Cameron Johnson Davis, the assistant coach, D-line coach, they all never really gave up on me. They all stayed on me and allowed me to continue to try to produce, and allowed me to continue to try to get better. And going against the O-linemen, first-string O-linemen, Taylor Decker and Panay Sewell, I mean, those are some of the top linemen in the league. And so going against them every day was a challenge. And I'm a competitor. I don't like to lose. So it's like, I'm going to go at it with you regardless. I don't really care what it is. I'm going to go at you. And so just those battles every day, I feel like it allowed me to close that gap faster.
Yeah. Look, I was reading a comment by Todd Walsh, your defensive line coach. He said, James is probably one of the better pass rushers in the league. It just took us a little while to get smart to be able to get him onto the field. And now he's a heck of a playmaker. What's your thoughts when you hear that?
I would say it's very true. I know I'm very different. I haven't been pass rushing for very long. It's probably been 14, 16, 17 months since I've really started pass rushing. And so I don't really typically do things that everybody else does. So I know when I first got into camp, it was just some things that I was doing that everybody else wasn't doing. And I don't know if necessarily thought it was good or bad, but it was different. And sometimes when things are different, you don't really know how to go at it. You know, you rather stick with something that you know works. And so that's really probably all I could say about that. I mean, because I know that they knew I had talent. They knew I could do things. They just didn't probably know if it would work or not.
Right. Look, when you look at your stats, you have, 6 game appearances, 8 sacks so far, which is an NFL record for the first 6 games of anyone's career. Congratulations on that. Plus, you have the 10 tackles and a forced fumble. And I think on special teams, you also had a forced fumble as well.
I had a fumble recovery.
Okay. So, man, you're showing up and showing out, right? So, Aaron Glenn said when it comes to your playing time, of course, you are earning your keep at this time. And now you were voted Week 17 NFC Pepsi Rookie Player of the Week. And you had that tremendous 3-sack performance against the Bears, and you terrorized Justin Fields most of the time, man. And on one play, James, I don't know what happened. This looked like you were just faster than everybody else on the field. It's like you Matrix, so to speak, man, the way you closed in on Justin Fields. Talk about that, man. What was going on with that play?
Yeah, it was a play, you know, we had been running a lot in practice. It was something that a lot of the coaches were excited about, and something that we really feel like we could use, especially in this game with a running quarterback. And so, once I kind of saw him lead a pocket, that was basically all me. I had free roam to go get him, and I knew he could run. You know, I knew he had some moves, and he could get people off him. But you know, I'm the problem too. You know, so when I'm coming at him, I was waiting for him to make a move. And I was coming as fast as I can, and I kind of kicked into my old linebacker instincts again.
Look, man, Jonathan Vilma. I was listening to the call, man. Jonathan Vilma said, because you know he's an old linebacker, he said, "Man, what the?" He's just like he couldn't believe how fast you got to him.
That's my favorite part of that video. He was like, "Oh man."
man, congratulations, man. That's such a great honor. But I think also people are recognizing that you coming from an HBCU, you have special talent. You as well as Jacoby Durant, you guys are just doing fabulous with both of the teams that you guys are on. Jacoby was just voted by the Rams team players the Rookie of the Year for the whole organization, man. And now look at what you're doing. You're being considered Rookie of the Year just in 6 games, and you know your 7th is coming up. but Rookie of the Year for the whole National Football League by the AP. What's your thoughts with this?
I'm just extremely blessed and grateful, man. Just the fact that I'm in that conversation, man, after only playing 6 or 7 games, bro, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I couldn't tell you that that's what it would be, before the season started or anything like that. And I just thank my Lord and Savior and God, man. They stayed with me throughout everything, and they allowed me to come out here and play free and just go out there and just do what I do. I mean, I feel like I have a good shot. I feel like there should be a good chance for me to win that. Doing what I did in the time span that I did it. I mean, it's unheard of. It's an NFL record. So I'm just very grateful and blessed.
Look, how fitting would it be for you guys to go out, go to Lambeau Field, sack Aaron Rodgers 5, 6, 7 times because you guys have a tremendous up and rising defensive line, man. Think about you, Hutch, and the rest of those other rookies on that line to be able to come into that setting and possibly get a playoff berth. Man, that will be an exciting story within itself. And I think right now, when you guys are positioned in the way you guys are playing, you're capable of doing it. What's the tone of the team right now going into this last game, the season finale?
We've been a really consistent team. That's what I could say. I've been on a few teams, and everybody has kind of their own identity, their own way that they go about things. This team, I could say we're very consistent. From when we was 1-6 all the way till now, we've been doing the same thing, been acting the same way. Nothing has changed, and I really do feel like we have a good chance. This whole week, everybody came out same way, just very consistent and just very loose and understanding what we have ahead of us, but also understanding what we got in ourselves, and knowing that if we come together as a team, we feel like we could beat almost anybody in the NFL. And so it's going to be really good.
You guys have proved that a number of times already, man. Going from 1-7 to where you are currently, man, it's a great testament. Dan Campbell is a fiery, passionate coach, but you have good technicians as far as coaches with Aaron Glenn and the rest of the defensive guys that I know out there as well. All right, final couple of questions for you, man. HBCUs. Going into that season, I know a year ago, you and I had a couple of conversations about what was going on with you and your preparation for the HBCUs, as well as the combines, as well as the bowl games, all-star games, and things of that nature. What advice would you be giving to some of these guys who are trying to get into the position where you are today, right now? What would you tell them to do and how to prepare themselves for this venture?
I would say the number one thing, man, is believe in yourself. Because, everybody going to have all these guys, especially from the Power 5, they're going to have guys believing in themselves, their coaches, the institutions, fans, NFL executives and stuff like that, just because of the history of what they feel like is supposed to do. So I would say just believe in yourself, grind. Never think you lesser than somebody because of where you went or anything like that, man. Because when you step on that football field, man, it's all football. It don't matter where you came from. It don't matter your color, who you was raised by. Like, none of that don't matter. It matters about that ball and whoever chasing. And so I would say, man, just grind. Know that you got it in you, man, and just use that. Use that hunger and that fuel. All those 4 years or however long you spent at the HBCU. Use all of that, man, because them guys, they didn't go through that. They didn't experience none of that. They had a silver spoon in their hand. They've been getting lobster and fish every day. And so just use that. Grind and just grind like, ain't going to be another tomorrow.
Do you think that experience going from Florida to Jackson State helped prepare you going through that time after you were cut as well? Kind of understanding that I have to possibly do more. I have to be able to grind more to get to where I want to be.
Most definitely. Going to the HBCU, it just really opened my eyes. It allowed me to see certain things. And I knew I was never like an industry guy. I wanted to play by these certain rules or anything like that. And I always wanted to have my HBCU experience. So when the opportunity arose, I bid at it, and I loved it, and I embraced it. But I also knew what came with it. I also knew, last year there were no HBCU guys that got drafted, and so I was going to have to do something a little different in order to get to that spot. And just have my family and them with me. They allowed me to just go out there and just do my thing, and it was great. Yeah, just being at an HBCU, it allows you to really grind, man. Like you see, like you don't really need all these things, man. All this stuff is really just glitz and glamour. It matters about what you're doing while you're doing it, man. Be where your feet are. That's a really good statement I like to say. And having Prime and all those guys there, it was great. Dennis Thurman, just having those NFL minds and guys that played and understand what it takes to get to the NFL. That was really good for me because they sat me down and talked to me, man, and told me how it goes, and it's going to be hard to be an exception. There was an exception, on our team, Deion Sanders. He could kind of do what he wanted, but for the most part, he was going to have to buy in. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be days where you don't want to do it, but it's your dream. And if you want it, you're going to go get it. You're going to do everything that you want. You're going to do everything that you need to do to go get it.
Definitely. The guy that's following your footsteps and kind of filled in as that defensive leader was Aubrey Miller Jr. That was your running buddy, right? And Aubrey Miller looks like he's set for the National Football League as well. Have you guys been in communication or talked a little bit about what's ahead for him?
Yeah, most definitely. I'll talk to him and I'll just let him know, everything that I went through that time is going to be a pretty stressful time. About 3 or 4 months where you're just training and grinding and people are talking about you, good, bad, and different. And you just got to kind of clear all that out and just go to work and put your resume out there. Show them, what they thought was what it was. It really isn't. Just show them. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to do too much talking. Just go out there and show them. And he a dog, so it's like, bro, go out there and do your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He know what it is.
Yeah, Aubrey's pretty intimidating up close, man. Look, I was on the field a couple of pre-games, and Aubrey was focused, man. He didn't want to talk to anybody. He was giving, I think, Alabama State guys business once, but Aubrey is pretty focused. He is a dog. All right, man.
Having him being with him back at Jackson State, man, it was hilarious. Honestly, being on the field with him, man. He does not care about nothing, man. He your head off. So it was real fun.
And you have to be that way, right? Especially as a defensive player.
Yep. That's the whole mind. That's the mentality.
Yeah. How do you feel about Coach Prime packing up, going to Colorado, man?
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him and the staff that left with him. I'm glad he took a lot of those guys that they wanted to rise in the rankings the same way Deion did. Wants to rise in the rankings. They've been players, and some of them have been coaches. And so they just want to, continue to get better, continue to achieve more. And I feel like they did a lot, especially for Jackson State, but also HBCUs. And I feel like, they did their job. They could have stayed, did a little bit more, but it is what it is. And that's kind of the way of college football. That's kind of always how it's been. Coaches going to move around. Now players are moving around even more, but coaches have always been. It's been like a revolving door, man. They travel anywhere and everywhere, and the message that Deion sends to these kids is great. And I don't feel like that should be gatekept at an HBCU. Like it should be shared to every black boy. I wish every black boy could go to an HBCU and get that, but it is what it is, and I'm happy for him and his staff and everybody that was.
Yeah, I thought the criticism was unfair. Everybody wants to improve their career, improve their standing, especially since he had guys, like you said, like Coach Hart, who's been with him for such a long time, and he was your coach as well, man. So I have to say congratulations, because that was a historic moment for us to have an HBCU head coach to rise to the ranks of FBS. You understand?
That went over a lot of people's heads. Because I feel like us as I would say black people, we wanted him to be our guy, and that's not his cross to bear,
Right.
He can still be our guy from the Power Five. You know what I'm saying? He can still spread that message. The message is not lost, and I feel like he brings that attention to where other guys like Ed Reed say, okay, let me get my coach's career started here too,
Right,
and
right.
Stage, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he doesn't have that success right away as probably he may have to stay longer, and that still brings the same attention, man. So it's all the same, and I feel like Prime just got the conversation started, which is a great thing.
He got a lot of conversations started, and he was bold enough to be able to make those conversations happen and make people think, and that's the type of thing that was necessary for this renaissance in HBCU football. That's just my opinion, and I have to applaud him as well as what has gone on. But man, look, congratulations to you, and I'm very proud of you. I'm always going to be behind you. You never have to fail. If you need to talk, let us know what we need to do to help you out. And one last question, man, and it's been on the mind of every football player. Damar Hamlin, how do you feel when you were watching that scene or heard about it?
I choked up a little bit. It was surreal watching him get up and then fall down and all of that. And it's the scary part of our business, man. It's the scary part. Everybody, I feel like every football player understands what they sign up for when they put that helmet on.
Right.
Like it's that you got that little warning sticker on the back of your helmet, man. And anything can happen. And I feel like that comes into where you have your faith, man. I was so glad that the whole world kind of stopped and decided to pray for him and send their support and their love. And you don't really see that too much, CTE is kind of a joke to a lot of people, but it's real life situations, it's real life stuff like that can happen at any time, and you just got to be grateful for your life and grateful that you are able to come out here and live your dream. And I'm grateful that I haven't had any type of situation like that or any type of injuries or anything like that. And you just gotta be careful, but it is what it is. It's part of the game.
Exactly. I agree. So what's next for James Houston IV? The problem.
Get ready to leave over to Lambeau, man, and try to go get some more sacks, man, on old Aaron Rodgers.
Well, look, you tell Aaron I say hello, man. So congratulations to you again, James. And I can't wait to be able to talk to you a little bit further the rest of the season. Well, later in the off season, if possible. And look, man, if you need anything from us at HBCU Legends, let us know, okay?
Well, most definitely. Thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome. Take care. That's James Houston, the problem, going to terrorize Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers for the season finale. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. That's James Houston. You guys have a great one. Thank you.